Ooh. She's gone to some strange places on this album, if I'm just gonna be honest. She's kind of like a god rising above the swirling depths of hell vibes. Hello, welcome to this video. My name's Dan, aka Lucid. I'm a music producer and songwriter, and today I'm going to be reacting to Aurora's brand new album, The Gods We Can Touch. So let's go. Okay, this is such an exciting one. Yeah, Aurora. If you're new to the channel, you're discovering me through this video. Aurora was one of the top voted you need to listen to this artist type recommendations. That's what I'm trying to say. And on the channel last year, and the events that transpired were truly miraculous. I really discovered an artist who was so moving and so creative and so altogether whimsical and amazing. Yeah, and I reacted to her first album, second album and third album and cried every time. Yeah, if you want to check those out, I'll link them. So I'm really excited to hear what she's got for us in this brand new album. I've listened to Cure For Me and I've listened to Giving Into The Love. That's what it's called, right? Two very different songs. Giving Into The Love, a little bit more traditional Aurora. I didn't love it though. Cure For Me I really was really catchy and a bit different, and I did quite like. So I'm unsure what the direction of this album's going to be sonically. I've tried not to listen to too much of it because I wanted to kind of save my reaction for this video, but I am extremely excited because I find her work so moving, and that's, you know, the music I love the most is the stuff that moves me. But before we get started, if you are new here, then feel free to subscribe to the channel. I do weekly content, everything with this kind of overarching idea of creating music. So I have videos about my own creation of music. I also have videos about my opinions on different artists and different albums. It's all from that perspective. I've been making music for 12 years at this point. Cool. Let's get on to this. Let's do it. This is song number 1. This is The Forbidden Fruits of Eden. Ooh, an intro track. Pondering, I guess, there's an element of religion, right, that we're gonna probably see throughout the album. So yeah, so we have an intro track there that's ethereal, magical, and really sets us up for this idea of the gods, you know, the forbidden fruits of Eden. The Garden of Eden is obviously the story of Adam and Eve, and the forbidden fruit is the thing that attributes to human sin. So I'm thinking that, knowing Aurora a bit, I feel like maybe that's going to be, maybe where she's focusing on is do we have this perceived sin, maybe? Let's go on to the next song, the first proper song on the album. This was another single that I haven't listened to. So this is song number 2. This is Everything Matters, feat Pom. Ooh, guitar. I'm driving your car with you in a dream. A love machine, a cinematic dream, 'cause everything matters to me. Ooh, okay. Huh, okay. Ooh, this is lovely. These harmonies are really nice. It kind of has a folk feel to it again, but with the 80s drum pad thing in the middle of it, which is quite interesting. Oof. Love that bass. Yeah. Seems like quite an encouraging track, you know? She's saying to the listener, you're part of this world and everything matters. You know, you're part of it. And to me, everything matters, you know. So she kind of continues this narrative of encouraging and boosting her listener. Ooh. I'm gonna guess this is Norwegian, unless she's making up a language again. Ooh, nice, that piano climbing. I love how the vocals have travelled backwards, but the piano has remained very close and intimate. Oh, wow. So cool. Very different. That one really does have a different feel to it. It does feel much more intimate. The piano is very intimately, closely recorded. You can hear the felt on the piano, but then the vocals kind of get more and more distant. I really like that kind of juxtaposition. Yeah, it gives it a lot of power. It seems as if she's kind of making the most of the small things, you know, so pure and it hurts when the beauty is lost in the speed. That's kind of part of it, isn't it? Like maybe life is going so crazy and she feels like she's kind of missing out on the beauty of the world because she's kind of going so fast into the future. And actually every single person and every single little thing does matter to me. I want to see the beauty that of all the world has to offer. Let me know what the foreign language stuff is. Maybe that's Pom. I don't know. But yeah, you'll have to let me know what the translation is of that. Yeah. Okay, let's go on to the next song. This is Giving Into the Love. So this is song number 3. I like the drums. Yeah. I love how epic this song is, really. But she has done the epic songs before, and I think for like stuff like River is better, you know. She's really like embracing like for her what it is to be human, trying to forget all the kind of extra stuff that doesn't matter. Oh yeah, this bit is so cool. Yeah. Really focusing on what matters, like giving into that which is important in life. Oh. That is quite a good song, but for me, like, doesn't quite hit the same heights as some of her other massive songs. I'm not sure whether it needs to, or whether it's trying to, but yeah. Not my favourite one. I do love that breakdown though. That bit that she really utilises like some really creative music theory to kind of give it this kind of like tilted kind of edge. A good song, but not my favourite. Okay, let's go on to the next song. This is song number 4. This is Cure for Me. So this is the one I've listened to the most. So let's definitely have a bit of a dance party. I forgot about the song. I haven't listened to it in ages. Oh yeah. No, I don't need a cure for me. I don't need a cure for me. I don't need a cure for who I am. I love the rhythm of it. There's so much kind of like offbeat kind of tension, which isn't necessarily the kind of rhythms that she usually uses. She's usually a little bit more straight with her rhythms. No, I don't need a cure for me. No cure for me, cure for me. This song reminds me of walking to work. Because I used to listen to it like on my way into work last summer. For me. I don't need it, I don't need it. This is a very different song from her, but I really love how she's kind of gone into this like syncopated world. It's, you know, it's really fun. I don't need a cure for me. Yeah. I love that she's written a song that like does kind of encapsulate that feeling that the thing that is so natural to you is somehow not right. To get real here, you know, that is something that I grew up with very much so. As, you know, long-time viewers of the channel know, like, I am gay. I had a lot of bullying and I had a lot of people telling me that it wasn't right to be gay, you know. And this was before I'd even come out. So this was just based on, you know, my femininity, the way I held myself, the way I was maybe more sensitive. You know, people had already decided that I must be gay and decided to bully me about it. To have that from a young age and then to come out and then to kind of have to then go through that process of like, you know, this is the thing that's been told has been wrong that I shouldn't be for all this time, and yet here it is, and inside it feels completely normal. Like, it feels like the most natural thing in the world for me. People often say like, it must have been like a really confusing time for you, and I was like, actually, inside it wasn't confusing at all. The problem was the rest of the world. And that is so much what Aurora is kind of speaking to and speaking out against, is this idea that like, we don't need a cure for who we are. This is who I am. This is the most natural thing for me. That doesn't need to be cured. And like, she does sum it up so succinctly. And you don't hear many songs really speaking to that feeling. So I really appreciate her kind of bringing that up. I feel like the music itself is like has that kind of slightly creepy edge to it, but like that is very much embracing the darkness from our past and then moving on forwards, I think, with this kind of dance beat. And to be able to say, I don't need a cure for me, and just dance it off is really empowering. Let's go on to song number 5. This is You Keep Me Crawling. Ooh. Ooh. Like horror movie organ. Ooh. Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, yeah. Wow. Love You Keep Me Crawling on my knees. There's a feeling of like having to beg, you know. Somebody is holding power over her, you know. The production on this album is really different to her previous ones. It's experimental, isn't it? So she's like having this interaction with this person and they're pushing her, they're testing her, you know, to the point where like they keep her on her knees, like maybe like begging for them to understand her. I don't know. It's dark, isn't it? Like she's sad. Maybe she's at the end of this like relationship with this person.
If I stop believing, maybe you will see.
Or maybe it's religious. Yeah.
Giving into love should set me free.
Ooh, that was really powerful. Giving into love should never hurt me. Giving into love should set me free. Let's have a little look at the lyrics. Maybe it is like her looking towards a God and having some sort of like, oh yeah, Lord, you keep me crawling. So it's this looking at the traditional, maybe like the traditional God figure and saying like, why do you keep me begging for forgiveness? Why do you keep me on my knees? Why do you make life so difficult for me? Giving into the love should be easy. It should be natural. Yeah, if I stop believing, if I give up on this pretense of religion, maybe you'll see that giving into love shouldn't hurt. It should set me free. I love all the kind of like the references to like her being on her knees, making her like seem animalistic. And it's almost like in the power in the face of this like God that's been built up in our society. Like, why should she be put down like that? Why should she be on her knees? Why should she be treated just like an animal when there's so much more to life? There's so much more to being free and to being, you know, in love, you know. Like there's something about existential songs that really kind of have such power to them, because I think they like, although like I personally am atheist, there's something about like somebody dealing with the kind of meaning of life that I think resonates with everybody, no matter whether you believe in religion or not, you know. Lord, you keep me crawling on my knees. Okay, let's go on to the next song. This is song number 6. This is Exist for Love. So I've been told that this is really good. So I have expectations, basically. I love her using acoustic guitar. Oh, okay. Oh, I love that guitar. Yeah.
My heart knew that I could have.
Okay.
And then you take me in.
Oh.
Feel like I belong.
Is she in love?
And when I take your hand,
Oh.
I'll hold you here forever.
Oh my God.
I love
Oh.
how every single time I run,
Oof. It's so like classically romantic.
I exist for love.
Oh, lovely. I love that she uses those like classic Hollywood movie strings. Yeah. Oh, that guitar.
The only thing that makes me whole.
Oh, I love that. Wow, she's so in love. Ugh. Wow. Oh, that's so beautiful. I love those lyrics. Oh. I love you. I love you. I love the simplicity there. Oh. I love that. Wow. I love that. 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 I feel like she's never really written a song that's been truly like so romantic like that. Like the white horses and the waves, there's just so much beautiful imagery, and I love seeing her like direct her lyricism towards somebody who she's in love with. It is really nice. I love how production wise this album is really like each song's leaning into its own thing. It feels like she's reaching out and experimenting more. It doesn't feel like the album isn't cohesive, it does, but like it does feel like she's stretching herself, you know. She's very good at big sounds, and that's kind of what she's been known for, so it's really nice to hear like it be so intimate and so close and really fits the topic. And then she then uses this like idea of these like, you know, old Hollywood strings to really give it this really lilting phrasing. It conjures up so much traditional romance, which is not really something I would have expected from Aurora, but like I love hearing her take on it, and I love hearing her lyricism and her creativity in that kind of frame, you know. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so let's go on to the next song. This is song number 7. This is Heathens. 80 synth.
She knows what she deserves.
Okay.
So we could live with her.
Who's she talking about?
Like heathens.
Ooh, it's very like angelic. Ooh, what's going on with that bass? Ooh, nice. It's kind of ethereal, this song, isn't it? Oof. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah. I wonder what she means by, you know, why we're living like heathens, you know. Nice. Oh. Quite sinister production there in the background. Wow. Who's her? Oh! She caught me out. Wow. Oh my god, like... very good. Wow, that, like, fake out is so clever. I love this. This is so clever, and I love that she has this kind of like quite chaotic darkness swirling underneath a very her angelic voice. It's so, it kind of gives it this like godly quality, you know. Very cool. That's really good. Yeah, I like that. Wow. I'm not sure what it's about, but I love like that. Yeah, oh my god, that fake out was so clever. Yeah, I love this kind of juxtaposition between her voice and between the production. It's really kind of gives it almost like she's kind of like a god rising above the swirling depths of hell vibes. Yeah, let's have a little look at the lyrics so I can kind of suss out a little bit more. So there's a lot more of this like, oh, okay, this is why we live like heathens, stealing from the trees in Eden. So it's about, I guess, about Eve, living in the arms of freedom, and everything we touch is evil. So she's really like looking at this story of the Adam and Eve and the eternal sin and like this sense of religion. It's really like filtering its way through the entire album. It's really an assessment of religion and where she stands, who she is, who she wants to be through religion. And this one, it seems like she's almost like praising Eve in a sense, isn't she? Her love is yours, but only if you give your heart to her. So maybe it's like a sense of like, you know, maybe being heathens isn't such a bad thing. And actually like if you give into her, it's this idea of giving into love, you know. Maybe it's a comment on how maybe as humans we have to embrace the sinfulness, the darkness, the things that we might do wrong, we might be selfish, and be okay with that in order to have the other side, which is the love, you know, that she talks about throughout the album. Very interesting, so much you could dig into. Let me know what your like interpretations and stuff are in the comments. Like that is like one of my favorite things about doing this channel, is reading all of your comments and seeing what you think about all the different songs and what your song interpretations are. So yeah, make sure to do that for me. Yeah, let's go on to the next song. This is song number 8. This is The Innocent. Ooh, jaunty piano. Ooh, okay. I love that combination of the kind of crazy piano and these like ethereal vocals in the background. Wow! Very cool. This is really cool. Nice. Oh, God, I love her vocal harmonies. Nice. I love the danciness of this, actually. She's done this on a few songs on this album now. This is so cool. Now she's taken away that jaunty piano just for us to want it, you know. There it is. You never let me into your heart. So cool. It's very different, isn't it? You know. Wow. Oh, sick. Amazing. Oh, that's really cool. I wasn't expecting a song that that combined a slightly, you know, one of these kind of like, almost like a piano you'd find at a train station, you know, that kind of vibe, with like this almost like, is it like Cuban, South American rhythm? Is that, let me know. I love that end section with the kind of crazy synths and stuff. It's just so, goes everywhere, doesn't it? Really like brilliantly creative song. Very cool. I really like that. The innocent life, the innocent touch is never enough. He left without a single trace. I don't know why he said goodbye to love. So there's kind of this sense of like people who maybe have something that's societally not correct. Like this guy, like he had a problem retaining control over himself. People knew that he actually did mean well, but still he was completely lost and fell off the face of the planet. Maybe it's like this pursuit of like perfection, maybe, and how he didn't live up to that, and maybe that's what broke him. Like innocent, like people who aren't perfect, people who don't know the ways of the world, you know, maybe it's like a sense of like, maybe people who have learning disabilities or neuroatypical, and how they're not good enough for the rest of society. And she's kind of saying, that's not right. Why should these people be deemed as not enough? Interesting. Let me know what your interpretation is. Let's go on to the next song. This is Exhale, Inhale, which seems like a bit of a callback to her last two albums. This is song number 9, I think. It's almost starting like a little folk song, like you're singing it around a campfire. It might turn into like a round, you know.
I was a moving thing. I was the tree before it fell.
She's maybe talk about like maybe Mother Nature.
Crawl beneath the earth.
Wow, sinister.
Then you will see the forest burn.
Yeah, maybe it's nature, global warming.
Through the silence singing.
Ooh.
On within the madness of the storm.
I love this, how sinister that pad is, you know, the fizzy, distorted thing. I love that she's using the two different vocals to call and response, you know, exhale, inhale. Maybe it's like a commentary on like breathing and how breathing is part of our living in this world, and how with global warming, we're threatening that very thing. It's part of the ecosystem, the cyclical nature in and out. Nice. Wow. What an interesting build at the end. Like, that's a very unique song for the album. It takes a moment to kind of stop and breathe. Maybe she's kind of thinking, in all this existentialism, where would we be if we didn't actually have a world? We wouldn't be able to inhale and exhale. Yeah, and actually if you were to see things from maybe Mother Nature's point of view, you would understand what's going on. You'd see that the forests are on fire. This siren, you know, the call, the siren sound, you know, who is listening? Is there anybody listening? That's an interesting like question to ask in a song like this. Right, let's go on to the next song. This is song number 10. This is A Temporary High. Ooh. Okay. You ready? You ready?
It seems like our heart sings a temporary.
I'm excited for the build of this. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hope her love is not a temporary high. I love the pace of this one, it's very intense. Something we haven't quite had this intensity yet on the album. Nice. It has a very 80s thing to it. Very cool. It's giving me like, you know, Holding Out for a Hero, those drums. Very cool. Yeah, I really love like how this album is going between so many different places. It's taking us to really different like, you know, tempos, rhythms, intensities, and that one really had like much more of a kind of like, I'm off to run forward and take on the world. You know, it's kind of has like a real drama to it there, which is quite different to what like the rest of the album. So I'm appreciating that. Nothing yet has really moved me, and I think that's kind of the thing I'm holding out for a little bit with the last few songs. I'm not sure what she's referring to, who the person she's referring to. Talking about like maybe hookup culture, I'm not sure. Let me know what your interpretation is. Let's go on to song number 11. This is A Dangerous Thing. More acoustic guitar.
Something about you is something inside you is violence and danger. And
wow.
You are a dangerous thing.
Ooh, I love this. Oof. I love the melody of it. It's very, yeah, very satisfyingly written. Wow. Why does this sound like a country song? Oh, nice. No love in the air. Wow. So she's met somebody who has a very sinister side to them. I love that imagery. She's so creative with her lyrics. Like, who else would say something about I keep on losing feathers, you know? With a reference to her, like, you know, giving away her creativity, maybe. Ugh, beautiful. Oh, wow. I keep forgetting there's no love in the air. Maybe she keeps on going back to this person thinking that things are going to change. I love this, like, melodically and lyrically. It's really nicely written. I think I could probably say that about so much of this album, is that it is really well written. Ooh, nice. Very good. Yeah, I love that. That's a great song. It's taken it to like a slightly country place with that Wild West guitar. I love that though. I love the pace. I love the tempo of it, you know. It really kind of has this kind of laid back, you know, allows her voice to really emote within this tempo. Let's try and figure out what it is about. I feel like it's about somebody who's, this might be a relationship, it might be like a friendship, I don't know, but there's something very tempting about this person, isn't there? Like, you know, you're all soft on the outside, but inside there's like this kind of this danger thing, and she kind of keeps on forgetting, she keeps on getting like, you know, tricked by the nice outside, and yet she's losing her feathers, she's, you know, losing a sense of herself. And she keeps on forgetting that there is no love. At the end of it, there is no love. Maybe it's telling herself through this song that she needs to stop pursuing this because, yeah, there's no love in the end. Yeah, it really does feel like her pursuit of love, whatever that is for her in different phases, you know, in terms of relationship, in terms of love for herself, her planet, who she is, love for humankind seems to be what she's exploring on this album. Let's go on to the next song. This is song number 12. This is Artemis. There's a god called Artemis, right? Greek god, right?
What will you do when she drinks the sea? When she's upset all of her heart.
Love that descending thing there.
When she eats the moon, make her eternity.
Don't do that. Ooh, very cool. Whoa. Ooh, very French. It's an accordion, right? Gives it such a sense of like romance, actually. But there's a darkness in there, isn't there?
Beg for her power, I'll throw her a bone.
Ooh, okay. I have no idea what this one's about. Oof, I love it. It's like a dance.
Beg for her body or touch her soul when you're alone. Lord, forgive me as I
This is so lovely. She's such a good songwriter. She's really proving it on this album, isn't she? Because she's taking her songs to very different places. Oh. Cool. I have no idea what that's about. I love the atmosphere. Gives me a sense of like danger, but like passive danger, you know, like don't mess with me. We're okay as long as you don't mess with me. That's what I was getting from that. I don't know whether that's right at all, but loved the use of the accordion mixed with this guitar. Yeah. So she's the goddess of the hunt. She's the one with the bow and arrow in the game Hades, if you've played that. Yeah, so maybe it's like a comment on like a female who has that element of like power and maybe how people are threatened by it, because there's this whole sense of like, you know, what will you do when she takes your throne? Beg her for power or throw her a bone. So it's this like obsession with power and maybe sex and the kind of intricacies of those. I don't know, it's very interesting, isn't it? Yeah, again, let me know what you think. Okay, let's go on to song number 13. This is Blood in the Wine. Oh, okay. We're back to the Wild West. She's gone to some strange places on this album, if I'm just gonna be honest. Ooh. This is so weird. I love it. Cool. This is a very different song again. So it's a sense of like heart before mind, feeling before thought. Oh, very cool. Come on, feel the shame. Oof. I wonder what this is about. There's a sense of shame, isn't there? And like darkness and yeah, I don't know. Whoa, very cool. Every song is a trip. Very cool. Musically, very accomplished. It kind of has this real kind of like sense of drama that is really heightened by this, I think it's harmonic minor? Can't remember. Some music theory thing, music theory, that really gives it a sense of drama. You know, yeah, I love that. And it, again, like another Western, she even goes, ah, like it's like she's singing the, that's the thing, isn't it? Not what I expected, if I'm honest. Yeah, okay. So, okay, she's not a sinner, she's a lover. So again, she's really playing with this idea of sin and like how just being natural and normal is considered sinful. But in here, she's saying you can't have good things without the bad things. You have to have both. You can't have wine without blood in the wine, which is kind of weird. But like, do you know what I mean? I really love the lyrical story through this entire album. It's very succinct, and she really is pondering this idea of like God and existentialism and who we are as people. Religious existentialism is probably the best way to describe this album as a whole, and it's really interesting. Let's go on to the penultimate song of the album. This is This Could Be a Dream, song number 14. Nice.
This could be a dream.
I love this. Dive into my mind and don't come up for air.
Soothe your fear, could you trust love? And I close my eyes and I sing sometimes.
Ooh.
But if you come back, could you take me home? I know. Take me home.
returning to this idea of being taken home, isn't she? I love it. Oh, those strings are so stunning.
When you're losing touch,
Wow, yeah. Oof, I love that.
even if I'm still like I'm longing to live, and I lift myself and
Oh, I love this. This is beautiful. I love this. Oh. Oh. This is so nice. It's so warm, isn't it? Like, maybe this is an extension of her love for this person.
if you come by, will you take me home?
Oh, I love that lyric.
Felt your
Just admitting that she can't do it all on her own.
take me home.
Oh, I love that. That's really nice. That's so nice. Like, oh God, the lyrics and the melody in that are just so beautiful. And like, she's really admitting to herself that she needs somebody else, you know. Maybe she thinks that as the kind of person that she is, she's very emotional, she's very, you know, trying to live her life with no shackles, you know. She doesn't want to be shackled by sin and religion, and, you know, she wants to be able to give in to this love that she's been talking about. But with being so open and so emotional, there comes this like other side of it, and it's not easy, and it's something that I've had to tackle personally in my life. You know, I'm very sensitive, which I love, and which is, you know, a huge part of why I can connect to music and such an integral part of my life. But then when it comes to some, you know, personal situations, you know, arguments and stuff, they affect me extremely deeply. And I think that that's kind of what she's saying, is that like she has a lot of these like difficulty, but she's maybe finally admitting to herself that she doesn't have to try and do it on her own. And she is alone while she's writing this, right? And she's saying, if you come back, will you take me home? It's like this sense that like she thinks that she should be able to cope independently, but actually she's giving into the love that she has for this other person and letting that love support her, you know? Summation for like this whole existential thing is that actually like we are in it together, and if she can learn to lean on somebody else, then ultimately she'll be able to find the love and the meaning of life that she's really been searching for all this time, you know? That's really, really nice. Okay, so before we go on to the final song of the album, obviously you've liked this video because you've got this far, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and also give this video a like if you like it too, because it really helps in the algorithm. Cool, let's go on to the final song of the album. This is song number 15. This is A Little Place Called the Moon. Use of like timpani there is quite interesting. Dum, dum. I love the vocal manipulations and the sounds that she manages to get that have like an essence of vocal to them, but seem very otherworldly, you know. I wonder where this is going. Ooh. What's going on there? Oh, okay. How long was that intro? Almost 3 minutes intro. She sounds a bit more settled. It feels like she's seeing the beauty now, you know. We are going to the moon. Oh. She often uses the moon as like a place for quirky, interesting people to be happy, you know. So maybe that's what she's returning to. Yeah. Not quite what I expected for the final song of the album. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. It does feel like she has like this kind of feeling of contentment after all this existentialism, and maybe she's kind of happy to be herself and happy to dream, and maybe that's where she's going to find her solace, you know. Maybe she's found the love. But I do think that like it was a previous song where she really had found the love, you know. Okay, so my verdict. Let's talk about this album. So in total, I feel like it's an incredibly accomplished album. She goes to so many different places and yet still has this really strong storyline that goes the whole way through, which really relates to existentialism and who she is and who are we in the context of this prescribed idea of sin and love. You know, those two things, how do they balance and who are we really? And I think she explores that in the greater context of the world, but also within herself. She also explores love in its many different forms, you know, love for herself, like self-love, self-care, but also love for an individual, romance, love for people in general, and also like how that relates, and then also like the opposite, how that relates to this idea that we're all born with sin, and why should we feel guilty? Why should we feel sinful for doing what's natural? So it's incredibly accomplished in the kind of overall storytelling, and you could tell that as an artist she's like really reached like such a maturity in what she wants to say and how she wants to get it across. The production of it is incredibly interesting, moves about to different places, but always seems very well done. And actually, to me, I think the production on this album is the best that she's had, just because it's still so quintessentially Aurora, but really does expand her like scope for what her songs can sound like. Because I do feel like after the first 3 albums, it had almost like settled into like slightly more expected territory, and this album very much breaks out of that, so it kind of does feel like a new beginning for her. On that level, I think it's very good and very accomplished. However, I must say that like it was missing that big moving moment for me. You know, I didn't cry. And like for me, that was the moments on her previous albums that were incredible, were those real moving, beautiful, huge songs. And she's taken it somewhere different, so I can understand maybe why that didn't exist for me. But like I was just hoping there would be that's the only thing I'm left wanting. But yeah, in general, really, really good, I'd say. My favourite songs: This Could Be a Dream, definitely. A Dangerous Thing, Heathens, Exist for Love, Cure for Me. I think those are my favourites. Let me know what your favourites are in the comments, of course. Let me know what your verdict on the album is as well. Like, everybody's different opinions, because at the end of the day, we all listen to music differently. And so that's what I really love about this channel, is that we really get that conversation going. So yeah, make sure to comment. Right, okay, cool, that's it. Oh, I need to actually say goodbye. Thank you for tuning in right to the end of the video. I will see you next week with more videos. Yeah, keep an eye on the channel. I'm doing lots of different kinds of things at the moment. I'm going to do some more vloggy, story time type videos soon, so make sure to keep an eye out for those. Cool. Bye.